everyone, I'm Priya, CFRE's Media Director, and today we'll be speaking to Blush. So I just want to start this interview off by just a little introduction about who you guys are as a band.
Yeah, I guess, we're Blush. We're from Victoria, BC, on Vancouver Island. We have been playing together for, I want to say, about a year now. And we've released an EP in February. That was super fun, a little 4-song EP. And we just recently released a live session that we recorded back a couple months ago. So I guess we play like alternative indie rock.
So where did the band name come from, and why did you decide to go with this name?
It came from Eric's partner, actually, who he couldn't make this meeting. He's away right now in Calgary. I think they were just chatting, and we were looking for a band name at that time. And I think he might have said like Blush or something, and she's like, "That's a good band name." So he brought it to the band, and we all thought it was like fun and playful, and yeah.
That's definitely the vibe that I got when I looked you guys up, which kind of falls into my next point. How would you describe the music you create? Because you guys have a very like unique sound. It's indie and all, but I also noticed like it's a bit of folk too.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would say like nostalgic vibes are pretty big in like what I think we all like write. But where it comes out, I feel like we're a little bit like fluid through a few genres, and I don't think we like fit into one perfectly.
Yeah, I feel like also we all we all like a lot of music, but we like very like different music, or like have gone into rabbit holes of like very different genres. So then we've all kind of like brought that together. Like I listen to a lot of like rap and electronic music, so like that's where I draw a lot of inspiration from. But I feel like Anton was like writing a lot of like more folk music with his like acoustic kind of like before we started the band. And then Rosie's got like the classical fiddle training and stuff like that. So yeah, and we all kind of like grunge stuff too.
Do you have anyone that specifically influences the music that you make?
Not one person. So many people, and like so many people like around Victoria and BC and like the world. But I would say like a lot of like maybe 90s bands.
Could you list a few?
Who list a few? Yeah, like Built to Spill, or like possibly like I don't know, Smashing Pumpkins is one that I've heard people compare us to a couple times. But then like I don't know, we really like Alex G, I think, is like a fun kind of playful artist that can play with a couple different genres. So
When I first listened to your music, like right away, it kind of reminded me of Wallows. I don't know if you know who that is, with Dylan Minnette, and I don't know. I think you guys have a very similar sound.
oh, cool. Yeah, I think I've heard a few of their songs. Yeah, he's an actor, right?
Yeah, he's an actor. I think he stepped away from acting, but now he's like full-time music.
That's awesome.
So let's talk about Still Wet. Could you tell me about the creative process behind this EP?
Yeah, Still Wet was, I guess, our first EP. I don't know, Ren, do you want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah. I don't know. It was like Anton and Eric went to jam a couple times one day, and then they mentioned it to me, and I was like, I want to start jamming too. And then Anton just like writes songs all the time, so we started kind of playing some of his songs, and then got Rosie in as soon as she was around, and like she was doing some fiddle on stuff originally, and then we kind of like converted her to bass, kept writing songs together, and then we won like a contest for emerging artists at Barnhouse Studio with Justin Lapointe. So he donated like a handful of hours of studio time. So we basically got to go in for like a day and a half and just like record as much as possible. So we recorded that whole thing pretty much live and then just like overdubbed like extra vocals and some percussion, and he like mixed and mastered it for us. It was like super generous. So I don't know if we actually would have like gotten a project out that quickly if it wasn't for that.
Going back to what you said before, is that typically how you write songs, like individual components and then piecing them together?
Yeah, I write a lot of music. I try to write like, I don't know, a song a week if I can, just to like weed out. You know, you're always going to write some bad songs, so just like weed out all of the ideas and like, you know, maybe 5 songs out of one chunk of like, you know, this week I write maybe 2 or 3 songs. They all kind of sound the same. They all have like a similar vibe, and I just kind of like pick my favorite and work on that. And then when I feel I have something, I'll like give it to the band, and then everyone kind of writes their parts individually, and we come together and jam it and workshop it. And yeah.
It's really cool. Some of my personal favorites that you've written are Good Try and Moon. What are the stories behind these songs? How did they come to be?
That's a good question.
I'd love to know.
Yeah, I think I don't I honestly can't tell you. I'm not too sure. They're just like uh, in the mix of all the things that have just been like, you know, write this, write that. I feel like I wrote those songs probably 4 months ago, maybe. This is when we started workshopping them.
Yeah, it's funny you say that too, because I think Moon is kind of a band favorite. Like we love playing that one. And Good Try is definitely like one of my favorites. And I like remember when we put those parts together, it was kind of like one of those practices that just feels like really, I don't know, magic. Just like the parts are just like working. Like, I don't know. I think we came up with a lot of that in like all together in the studio one day. That's what I feel. But
Yeah.
So, how do you come up with song titles? I guess is my next point.
Sometimes they're just like placeholders that stick. You know, I'm like, I can't just call this song 1 or song 2. So I'll like name it something like, I don't know, A Snail House for Big Dog, off of our Still Wet EP. Like that was just like I'm going to write something stupid. And everyone was like, oh, I like that name.
Yeah, I
So
think
it
that's
kind of
what
stuck
like
around.
helps you guys stand out.
Yeah, but some of the other ones are, I don't know, thrown around maybe a little bit. But yeah, it's usually like on the fly. We'll just like come up with a name and be like, yep, that's the one. We might call it something different when we jam it, but yeah.
So, what are some challenges you face as a band?
Scheduling, probably. We all work at the same restaurant. And up until a few months ago, we all worked like behind the bar, and it was a very small bar team. So it's pretty hard to find times that we can all meet to practice, or like to practice, let alone to like actually book gigs. So that's probably one of the main challenges. But it's also really nice because we get to see each other all the time.
I was just about to ask, is that like maybe a problem being so close?
Not yet.
Yeah, I think it's great because we were all like friends before we started playing music together. We just kind of like bonded over, oh, like you play music, I play music too. Like let's, you know, get together, and we like started jamming just acoustic jams, and it was a lot of fun. So once we all plugged in, and luckily we had a jam space at my auntie's up in Gordon Head, which is like half an hour away or 20 minutes away from everyone. We just started going there and getting louder and louder and louder.
I probably should have asked this earlier, but how did you all meet then? At the restaurant or was this before?
All at the restaurant, except Eric and I met at a previous restaurant, like probably 5 years ago or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are some goals you have for your music, and how do you plan to achieve them?
I think goals is just like keep playing shows, keep getting to like gig with other really cool bands and record music and just like keep writing. You know, we have a lot of songs written and like, you know, kind of out in the ether, but you know, you don't always get to record them all. So just keep on recording, keep on writing, keep on playing and having fun.
Is there anyone you're looking to specifically collaborate with?
I don't know. There's so many cool like bands in Victoria and Vancouver, and I don't know. Like we got to open for like Brat Boy this year, which was really cool, and you know we got to open for Surf Hat as well. So we've been like opening for some really cool bands and like Runt from Calgary. So just like we want to keep opening for some cool bands and get to like see other like seasoned artists that have been doing it for a while and just like keep learning.
So, I have to ask because we're located in Toronto, but would you guys ever consider coming to Toronto?
Oh, definitely.
Is there anything you're looking forward to when you come down here?
Yeah, I think like we would all love to. It's a little bit far away for us, but
Of course.
yeah, we all want to make it out there. We will do across Canada one day.
It'd be really cool. Keep us in mind.
Yeah, of course. Do you guys do like live like band performances? Do you have a sound room for that?
We do have like our own studio, so if you want to like sit down and do an interview, like we could set up the mics and everything, which is really cool. And then I'd have to coordinate with like the other departments, but sometimes we do like headliners with certain events.
Cool.
And I guess just to wrap it up, what can fans of you expect to see from you in the new year?
Hopefully a new EP.
Oh, really cool. Do we have a name yet? No?
No, not yet.
Well, thank you for doing the interview. That concludes it. And I'm Priya on CFRE Radio, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much, Priya.